Maybe you noticed something in 2017. The robots are finally here in a big way. You may have had an autonomous robot named Tug deliver you food or medicine in a hospital. You may have had one roll along city sidewalks to deliver you food, or make you a pizza. And if you were really lucky, you met Cassie, the fantastical little biped that doesn't look like an Ewok's worst nightmare at all. The machines are suddenly everywhere. So what changed?
Well, 2017 has been an amazing year for robotics. It's been in many ways the year of the self-driving car, but we see other applications from drones to local delivery robots that make amazing progress. Why 2017? I'd say, why does it take us so long? To build a robot, you have to combine smart software with functioning hardware. In the past, in robotics, we had non-so-smart software with hardware that would break all the time. And that's not a good product. It's only recently that both the computers have become smart enough and that robot hardware is becoming reliable enough that the very first products start to emerge.
So for instance, I want you to take a good look at the Guardian GT from Sarcos Robotics. It replicates the operator's movements with extreme precision and smoothness. It's part of a vanguard of increasingly dexterous and useful robots. That's due in part to some serious tech, but spectacular robots like this are getting more economically feasible.
I kind of talk about this finally being the golden age of robotics. You see robots really becoming prolific, both in the consumer space, but more importantly in the business, commercial, industrial space. And I think it's because we're finally at that point, we're at that crossover point where the cost has come down of components while the capability of the components has increased sufficiently. A sensor that we used back in 2010 on a humanoid robot, it cost us $250,000 for that sensor. Today, a sensor with equivalent capabilities is costing us around $8,000.
And it's sensors that make a robot. Whether that's advanced cameras or laser viewing LiDAR that maps an environment in 3D, a robot is no use to humanity if it can't make sense of its surroundings. These days, cheaper, more powerful sensors are allowing robots to tackle increasingly chaotic environments. So sensors are helping robots escape from the highly structured environment of the factory.
In the past, we had robots that were novelty. We certainly had robots that could do repetitive tasks bolted to the floor for years and years. But what's changed is we're now talking about robots that are mobile in nature.
On top of sensors making that possible, robots have also grown bigger brains. That's thanks in part to smarter AI, but also to increasingly powerful and cheap processors that can handle these algorithms on board the robot. No longer do you need massive computers to make such calculations in the cloud.
The advent of software and data analytics coupled with machine learning, coupled with sensors, coupled with processing capability, that has made science fiction of the future a reality today.
For all their progress, though, robots still aren't great at two things in particular: learning and manipulation. And that has to change before we have machines helping us around the house. The problem is both that robots don't have the dexterity of humans yet, and that you can't just program a robot to handle each object it would encounter in the home. But that too is changing. Meet Brett, or the Berkeley robot for the elimination of tedious tasks. And this is Brett teaching itself how to solve a puzzle using machine learning. No one told it how to do it, just that it needed to succeed. It makes random movements and is rewarded each time it gets a bit closer. And after 10 minutes of trial and error, it finally succeeds. All well and good, but humans still have to tweak these algorithms to make Brett more efficient.
But what if you could let the computer itself change its own algorithm? So it says, hey, I'm going to make a tweak to my algorithm, see what happens now. If you can automate that process of tweaking your algorithm, you can run it in parallel over many, many machines. You could hope that maybe as a consequence, you end up with a better algorithm than one that humans can design.
Then Brett could teach itself even faster and better adapt to new environments. This is called learning to learn.
It's nice that we can have the robot learn a skill and that we can learn skills that couldn't be programmed directly. But when a robot is deployed in the real world, you can't just deploy with a fixed set of skills. It needs to have acquired the ability to continue to learn once it's deployed.
So robots have finally rolled out of the factory into our lives. Now watch them get even smarter to truly adapt to our world. Nothing to be afraid of, I promise.